Caesar, do you think you would be a good dad? Honestly, I do be thinking about that sometimes. I hope. I would love to say right now that like, yeah, I'd be a good dad. I would love to say that, but you never know. You just don't know what happens, you know? I would love to do everything for my children cuz you know, if you don't know, like I love my dad and I love my mom and I love them so much, but there are often times where it just kind of feels like that, they were very much just like winging it with me, right? And then when my sister came, who was like the second in the family, I feel like my sister, like, oh my god, she's so smart and she'd be getting like scholarships to everything, and she's very, very like very smart, very talented, just always getting invited. I don't know. I definitely felt like they were just kind of like they were kind of just like, okay, how do you be a parent? And then like when the second child came, they're like, okay, this is how you be a parent, you know? Which don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like I love my parents, and I think that they did the absolute best they could, which is a lot more than other parents could say, right? It's definitely a lot more than other parents could say, and I would never ever trade it for the world. I'm just saying that, like pretty much. But I would love to learn, like I think I would love to learn about being a parent more before I become a parent, you know? I don't want to like just be like pushed into like having like, oh my god, I have a child now, cool. In other words, I think I will do my best. I haven't seen you since your last Garden of Batman video. Okay. Ancient gamer. I'm the youngest. I feel like my parents kind of gave up on me, lol. Not like neglect, but they definitely thought they were set because my oldest sister very talented, smart. No love, I definitely feel that sometimes because like I'm the first child, but my sister is like so much more talented and smarter than me. I definitely feel that. But love, honestly, we just gotta realize that like, every person is way better at like different things. I think the way that I cope with not being that like smart, talented individual, you gotta realize that like at the end of the day, like you should really just focus on being the best you possible. I'm so sorry if I'm drunk and I'm just saying a bunch of bull, but I've quickly learned myself that I really don't compare myself to anyone. For like the past 4 years that I've ever been a streamer, I don't compare myself to other streamers. I don't compare myself to other content creators. I don't compare myself to anyone else. But at the end of the day, every time I look into the mirror, I compare myself to the person who I was yesterday, to the person who I was a year ago, to the person who I was 2 years ago, and to the person who I was 4 years ago. I always try to be better than that person. I'm too drunk for this. Don't get me wrong. I've had my panic attacks in the past. I've had my feeling of just being like inadequate compared to people who like, and it's never been online. It's always been IRL. I've never ever felt like comparing myself to other people online. Like never. Just literally, I promise you, never. I've never felt that. It's always been like IRL, like people I know IRL. But at that point, it's just like, I don't know. I think I've gotten to the point where I know that like people depend on me to keep going, and really that's enough for me. And really pretty much that's why I keep going. That is why I keep going. Like there are people in this community and people who revolve around this community, not in this community, they could just like hover around it. There are people who are just like CesarFever in the big the big 30. Okay, no, but there are people who are just like, Caesar, like, I love your content. I wish you kept going. And honestly, that's literally enough for me, because when I was like a school kid, I was never really good at school, and like teachers hated me. Teachers hated me. Like they hated me so much, and they were like, Caesar, like literally, like they never said it straight up, but they were like, Caesar, if you keep going on this path, you'll never be anyone. And then guess what? I don't give a f what happens at the end of the day. I'm literally CesarFever to a whole ton of people, and that's enough for me. Cool teachers. Anyways, back to me being drunk. Hi, I have come from the depths. I started watching 3 months after the Rec D video a while ago. Love ya. Ah, thank you, Nuggets. It's crazy because someone, I forget who it was. I'm so sorry if I don't exactly remember. But there was someone who was like, "Hey, Caesar, I met you through like what Recty's like Mario 3D World video, and it was like the best decision of my life." And I don't know, it's just like it's very little things. It's very little things that just keep me going, you know. And that's not to say that I wouldn't keep going if it wasn't for them. I will always keep going, you know. I will always keep going. It's just it's just little things that just like hype me up. And I'm just like, hell yeah, I am CesarFever, you know. I am CesarFever, and I appeal to certain people. I just keep going. Like, let's be real, there will never be another CesarFever, and that's enough for me. That is enough for me. There will never be another CesarFever to take my place, and that's good enough for me. That is good enough for me. The fact that there will never be another time where people will say CesarFever and think of another person, unless you think of Dan Caesar, which, yep, I'm gonna keep going. I will keep going. I will keep going, and I'm having fun, and, you know, eventually there might be a time where I just stream and I'm like, hey guys, I'm ending stuff, which will be sad as fuck, but that time is not anytime soon, and that's okay.